All right, so we are going to do some multiplication and division today, and I just want to go through and remind you of the process that we did to do this. So, to start here, we're going to try 183 times 7. And one of the first ways we learned to do this was that we can break this up and look at each spot individually. So, if I write 183 in expanded form, um, it's going to look like this. And now I can take all of that and I can multiply it by 7. And that is going to allow me to do 100 times 7, and then think about 80 times 7, and then think about 3 times 7. So I can break it up and split it up um, and think about it into pieces, and we can use our zeros trick this way. Another way we did this, instead of writing it out with the parentheses, was to use boxes. But again, we were using expanded form for this. So we set it up like this, and hopefully this looks familiar. This is called the area model. This first box is 3 times 7, which is 21, which is exactly what this would have been over here. And then we have 80 times 7. I know that 8 times 7 is 56, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there is 1 0 in my problem, so that's what that would have been. And then 100 times 7, 7 times 1 is 7. And then there are 2 zeros, so 700. And the way I get to my answer then, how I get this over here, I have to go up and I have to add these together. Okay, so I got 1 here, I have 8 here, I have 12 here. So 1,281 should be my answer there. Okay, so if the expanded form works for you, you can use that. If the area model works well for you, you can do that. Or we can we can write it out and you can stack it, and you can do your multiplication just like we practiced like this. Now it's all the same steps still. Remember, it's 7 times 3, which is 21. Now the difference is you're carrying the 2 there. 7 times 8 is still 56, and then we're adding the 2 more. So that would be, so 56 plus 2 is 58. And then 7 times 1 is 7, and then add in the 5 to get 12. You see, we still end up with that 1,281. Some of you like it this way. You get to choose how you're doing this. Now, not everything will be 2 by 1 or 3 by 1, or, I mean, you're responsible for things up to like 4 by 1. So, you could be doing multiplication like this. And you just keep going. Every step, you just keep moving things over and getting to the answer that you need to get to. All right. But the other thing that you're responsible for is 2-digit by 2-digit multiplication, like 70 or 83 times 76, for example. And again, we could split these up into separate pieces, and we can think of how we're going to multiply each thing by the other. It's called the distributive property, is what we did, is how we started this. So this one, we distribute the 80 to the 70 and the 80 to the 6. So if this doesn't look familiar, I promise we did this at some point this year. And then 3 times 70 and 3 times 6. You could go back in your notebook right now to previous pages and find this. That's the distributive property. But if you don't like it, I will remind you that we broke up the numbers and we used the window, the area model, for this as well. So I can take all of this math I just did here and I can stick it in these boxes. So 80 times 70, remember that's 8 times 7, which is 56, but then I have a 0 here and a 0 here, so I need 2 zeros here. This box right here comes down to 70 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. Put a 0 on it, it's 210. So then my 3 is up there. I can come down. 6 is going to go with this one. 3 times 6, that's a simple old 18. And then 80 times 6 comes over here. 8 times 6 is 48. And then there is 1 0 in that problem, and be 480. Okay? So then once I have all those numbers, I would have to add them up. So let me make some space for myself here. Getting rid of these so that I have room to do 5,600 plus 480 plus 210 plus 18. And when I add those together, I get an 8 down here. 8 and 2 makes 10. 6 and 4 makes 10. 2 more makes 12. Then we have 13. And then 6. 6,308. So if you like the distributive property, distributive model, you can do that. If you like the area model, you can do that. But the last thing we did, and the thing that some of you were more comfortable with, was 83 times 76 stacked, and we are going to do turtle head for that. And if you remember that, this is the algorithm. We have notes on this too, but we use the turtle head steps to help us stay organized. We're going to ignore this 7 right now, and we're just going to focus on the neck first. 6 times 3 is 18, and then 6 times 8 is 48. Add one more is 49. Some of you forget to do the addition step second. You have to wait. This is not 6 times 9. It's 6 times 8 plus 1. Okay? You have to do the multiplication first, then add. All right, then my turtle head steps. I give my turtle a collar. I check off what I don't need anymore, and then I lay an egg, which leaves me 7 times 3, which is 21. This is the only math I can do is to put 7 with both of those. So 7 times 3 is 21. Then 7 times 8, we know is 56. I add 2 more, and I'm at 58. That sounds familiar from that distributive property we did. Then I add here. 8 plus nothing is 8. 9 plus 1 is 10. 8 plus 4 plus 1 is 13. And 5 plus 1 is 6. So again, either way we do it, we get 6,308. So this is your multiplication video. Move on and check out the Division 1 next.